So this place has definitely got some haunted vibes. I would not want to be here at night or when who knows whatever goes on here. Marissa just told me our ferry tomorrow got canceled. This morning we woke up in Girdwood, and today we're headed towards Whittier. We're gonna spend one overnight before getting on a ferry and heading to Valdez as we start our trek back to the lower 48 with thousands of miles to go. We're ready to head through Canada and back to the homeland. On our way to Whittier, we're stopping here at a viewing area for salmon, and hopefully we're gonna see a bunch. The life cycle of salmon is super unique. Salmon are one of only a few species that come into this world programmed to return to their birthplace, reproduce, and then pass away, allowing their bodies to break down and become a food source for the next generation of salmon. Different species of salmon spend a different number of years maturing at sea before returning home to reproduce. Pink salmon, which are some of what we see here, only take 2 years before returning to their home to breed. But king salmon, the creme de la creme of salmon for human consumption, live between 4 and 5 years before breeding and passing away. Later on in the video, we'll be taking you to a different hatchery in Valdez, Alaska, where the salmon migration to cessation happens by the thousands. Well, I thought we were pretty legit with our GoPro underwater, but this guy is in a full-on dry suit with an underwater DSLR camera, getting some awesome shots, I'm sure, of these salmon.
That's a real professional.
That we're headed to is a small little town where pretty much everybody lives in one giant building. It's between 200 and 300 folks that live there, and the town itself had an instrumental role in World War II as well. But the most unique part is the fact that Whittier is only connected to the outside world through this 2.6 mile one-way tunnel that goes on every half hour in terms of the change of back and forth. It's also the longest tunnel in the United States that is also accompanying a train car going through. So you're gonna have a railway and a roadway sharing the space and all taking turns as to who's using it when. If you've never been to Whittier, Alaska, welcome to one of the wildest tunnels in North America. Its official name is the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel. This tunnel wasn't originally built for tourists or road trippers or even locals. The Army blasted through solid rock back in the early 1940s during World War II to create this tunnel. Whittier was a hidden military port protected by the mountains and would provide a safe place to dock military vessels. They needed a land-based supply line that could survive a bombing. It was originally built for trains, not cars. Every foot of it was engineered for cold, moisture, and movement, both the movement of trains and earthquakes. When it was later converted to be used for highway purposes in 2000, they retrofitted the old rail tunnel with concrete panels, safety bays, and automated control systems to handle both rail and road traffic. It's definitely not flashy, but it's a perfect piece of Alaskan engineering. Built for purpose, still doing its job 80 years after its conception.
We made it to Whittier.
So we're headed over to the Begich Towers building, if I'm pronouncing that right. This is the building here in Whittier that almost everybody lives in. What was originally known as the Hodge Building is now known as the Begich Tower. This all-encompassing building is another piece of military history here in Whittier tied to World War II. The tower was built by the Army Corps of Engineers back in the 1950s, designed to be the home for military personnel, their families, and other civilian employees connected to the military operations in Whittier. The 14-story tall building actually consists of 3 towers, or modules, all separated by enough space to allow for movement related to wind, earthquakes, and weather. As the military scaled back its operations in the 1960s, the building became what it is now, the home to almost all of Whittier's permanent residents. The Begich Tower is more than just home to the people of Whittier. It's home to many essential entities of any town. Things like the post office, police station, a mini market, a church, and even a clinic all reside inside this one historic building. So you can see the building behind us that we just left. It's pretty unique. It kind of, for me, had like a college dorm sort of vibe in there, or just like an older apartment sort of vibe. It's still just kind of super weird thinking that everybody in the whole town pretty much lives in that one building. Like the mayor, does he have a dwelling somewhere else, or does he live there?
Why can't it be a she?
Sure, could be a lady mayor, but either way, like, does the mayor live there? Like,
yes,
does everybody live there?
Everybody lives there. The mayor lives there. All the restaurant owners live there. Everybody that owns a business probably in Whittier must live in this one building.
It's weird. It's cool, but it's weird. This place has definitely got some haunted vibes. I would not want to be here at night or when who knows whatever goes on here. So this is probably part of why they changed buildings. Asbestos. Yeah. Well, figured out how people are getting in. Just climb that strap up and risk your life. Guys, diesel heater season is coming, whether you want to admit it or not. Nights are getting colder. Wintertime is on the way. If you plan on using your truck camper over the winter, well, one, I hope you have a good heat source in there. If you don't, and you want to upgrade to something that's better, check out the Autoterm diesel heater over at eTrailer.com. Our Autoterm 4D diesel heater has served us so well over the last 5 years, well before our relationship with eTrailer. I just happened to stumble on their website and realized that they happen to sell this also, and I was thinking, man, this is a perfect opportunity to showcase to our followers exactly what we're running for heating here. So what we'll be doing is next week we'll have a full-length video on the installation of this Autoterm 4D diesel heater. And if you're interested in a heat source that provides a dry, super efficient source of heat, be sure to check out the Autoterm 4D diesel heater over at eTrailer.com. If you have a slightly smaller camper than ours, you could run the Autoterm 2D diesel heater. Both of these diesel heaters are set up to run at well above 10,000 feet of elevation. They run super clean, consuming only about half a gallon per day, up to a gallon in extremely cold conditions. I have mine plumbed in to where it circulates hot air around the whole camper, including the underbelly, keeping our tanks warm and toasty. If you want to get a diesel heater just like ours, be sure to check out the link in the description below. That will take you directly over to eTrailer's website, where you can purchase your own Autoterm 2D or 4D diesel heater. And just so you guys are aware, if you click on the link in the description below, anything that you purchase off of the eTrailer website helps us out a lot. It helps maintain this relationship with eTrailer, the sponsorship of these videos, so that we can continue to live full-time on the road, creating content for you all. And so whether it's this diesel heater or anything else off of the eTrailer website, like torque lift turnbuckles, Jensen TVs, a 12-volt fridge, solar panels, they've got everything you need and more on the eTrailer website. So be sure to click the link in the description below and check out eTrailer.com. find our camp spot tonight, which hopefully works out. It is a trailhead that we found on iOverlander and has good reviews, so we'll see how it goes. This spot has got quite the view. Behind us, we have the bay near Whittier, I don't know what the name is. And then over on this side, we've got a massive freaking glacier. The only thing we need to do to make this site perfect is get level. We've been parked in spots for the last couple days where it just didn't make sense to put the slide out. Like last night when we were in Girdwood, we got there super late. We knew we were leaving early in the morning, didn't put the slide out. This will be our first time having the slide out in I think 4 days, which is gonna be super nice. Hello, sweetie pie. It now feels like we have a mansion in here. Feels huge. So this is the first round of delicious halibut bites that Marissa made for us. I'm going to do my usual Japanese mayo and sriracha combo, aka spicy mayo. If you watched our video from this summer where we went out fishing for halibut, these are, in fact, nuggets from the halibut fillets that we got when we were in Seward, Alaska. Yummy.
So we used the pork rind breadcrumbs, and they came out super flaky. Look at how nice that looks. They're really good.
And there's enough fish there to make at least another round of these. Not a really big round, so we'll be chowing down on halibut tonight. We're just sitting down here enjoying our dessert. Marissa made snickerdoodles and brownies tonight. We already ate all the brownies. I'm honestly so full that I don't know how much of these snickerdoodles I'm going to be able to eat. Marissa, you feeling greasy?
I'm so dirty.
You dirty?
Yeah, I need to shower so bad.
So the bad news, besides my belly being too full to eat these snickerdoodles right now, is Marissa just told me our ferry tomorrow got canceled. We were planning on taking the ferry from here in Whittier to Valdez so that I didn't have to do 6 hours of driving. I could just sit on a boat for 6 hours. But it looks like we'll be doing a 6-hour drive to Valdez in the morning, so we're going to go to bed early. Pick you guys up in the morning on our way to Valdez. Well, this morning we are in a mega rush to get out of here. Goal is to try and get on the next tunnel passing from here back towards Anchorage, and then we're going to Valdez. You can tell we're in a rush when Marissa's putting away blocks. The most probably frustrating part about our ferry getting canceled is not only the fact that we got to do the 6-hour drive instead of sitting on a boat for 6 hours, but we left Seward on Wednesday, drove from Seward to Palmer to escape the rain. Palmer's where we are now, then drove 7/8 of the way back almost to Seward because that's where Whittier is in order to get on our ferry. Delayed our whole timeline of movement because of this ferry, and then now it's been canceled and you have to leave Whittier, drive back through Anchorage to Palmer in order to try and go to our end destination of Valdez. So that is the flaw of making a commitment to something like a ferry, booking it ahead of time, and basing your life around it. Now world is turned upside down in terms of our travel. So, long drive day here. Stopping to get gas here in Glen Allen, and this is the most insane line I've ever seen for fuel. It is Labor Day, so a lot of people traveling today, but we are 5 vehicles deep to get diesel right now. Marissa's gonna go inside the store here, try and get us some food, but then we have another 2 hours and 5 minutes to get to Valdez. Landscape as we're driving into Valdez here is super pretty. I want to say very different than what we've seen in Alaska so far. Has of course similarities, but just insanely pretty around here. We're at the top of Thompson Pass, whopping 2,678 feet of elevation. So Marissa wanted to pull over here at Bridal Veil Falls, which is supposed to be the most famous falls in all of Valdez.
Look at the size of that waterfall. It's huge.
This whole drive in, I don't know if you can quite tell, but like just a super tight corridor in between all the mountains. You're literally just running this riverbed the whole time. So we're walking over to the hatchery here, which is a very well-known spot in Valdez for smelling like fish, having a lot of dead fish, sea lions.
Bears.
But the smell is undescribable, and we're still a solid 100 yards out from it. It's wretched.
It's disgusting.
It's an insane smell. That's a smell that's going to live on in my memory forever. I'm not even all the way up yet. Besides just being abhorrently stinky, the Salmon Gulch hatchery is the beginning and end of the life cycle of millions of salmon each year. The hatchery was built back in the early 80s to boost pink and coho salmon numbers here in Prince William Sound. But what's wild is the salmon can't actually fulfill their natural spawning duties and truly reach their birthplace. The creek ends at a 30-foot waterfall that no salmon can jump, so their run stops right here at the base. Hatchery crews collect them with the weir system, strip their eggs and milk, and start the cycle all over again. The salmon still follow that instinct to come home, but this home is a managed one. Their bodies feed the next generation, just not in the natural stream bed they remember. It's a mix of biology and engineering that keeps the sound full of fish. Being here in late summer, we got to see it at its peak. Thousands of salmon stacked up, all trying to finish the journey they started years ago. It's pretty gross. The circle of life, but it's pretty gross. That one sea lion in particular was so incredibly fat and happy. He was completely engorged on salmon. So last night we slept on the roadway. The smell here from the hatchery is still very prolific. It's hard to get away from. But today the plan is we're gonna make our way towards the US-Canada border and do a border crossing tomorrow morning. We've got about 6 hours or so worth of driving before we get to the Canadian border. So, gonna sleep out overnight there in order to not have to cross late at night and then find a spot in Canada when it's dark. So our game plan this morning is we're gonna go take showers at a place that we've never taken showers at in terms of like the style of establishment, if you will. And it's something that's semi-unique to these coastal towns, these towns that have like small boat harbors where a lot of people are sailing from a long way away. Maybe their bathroom situation isn't so normal or fancy, so they give these shower options here in these towns.
So see that hill right there? We're gonna go behind that hill, and behind that hill has 3 private bathrooms. We paid $5, it's $1 a token, and the machine takes 5 tokens, and then you get 12 minutes. We're gonna try to get both of us in there for showers in a 12-minute time period after not showering for a week.
I am super excited for a shower. Like Marissa said, it's been a week since we showered, so I'm feeling gross, I'm feeling sticky in all the icky, dicky places. Pretty excited about these showers. They also have a laundromat here, which is pretty cool. But we didn't bother pricing out how much it cost because we don't really need it right now. Pretty sweet. Plenty of space to also take a dump ski if you wanted to. And there'll be plenty of room for 2 people to shower in here. Utilize our money efficiently. $5 for 12 minutes feels pretty darn good. Also, don't do drugs. We'll let you guys know how the shower went after we're all done. Well, that was an excellent use of $5. 12 minutes worth of super hot water was more than enough for both of us to do what we needed to do. And the only criticism you could give is it had a slight aroma of almost like RV tank, like the pods that you drop into it in order to freshen up the scent. But otherwise, really awesome showers. Would 10 out of 10 recommend again. So why are we leaving Valdez so fast? Well, same reason we left Whittier pretty fast. The weather is a little subpar, but most importantly, we are just ready to get back to the lower 48 and back to kind of normalcy. So we rushed through these towns. We're certainly not giving them the fair representation that they deserve, but also like if it's gray and cloudy and kind of rainy, I don't want to go hiking and don't want to go out in the ocean and stuff like that either. So. Conditions have changed. You cannot see more than 50 feet in front of you right now. It is foggy as heck at the top of Thompson Pass here. Legit like a full-on whiteout.
It's crazy.
You can really see it on the camera, but we are back into sections of road where it looks more like a motorcycle or motocross course where you get those whoops. It's just one frost heave after another roller coaster ride where you're going 65 miles an hour and then you need to slow down real fast because you're going to send your camper 2 feet in the air if you don't. As we're getting kicked around by all these frost heaves, I am really glad that we did this trip in our 5500 rather than having done this a few years ago in our 3500, knowing that we were like 2,000 pounds overweight in that truck versus being a few 100 pounds underweight on this truck. I think we probably would have broke some stuff because these roads are different than Baja, but really bad in their own way. And it's just been butt kicking, and we know that we have like 4 more days of intense butt kicking. camera, but that semi-truck assembly was attached together. So one truck pushing the leading truck and then also towing a bunch of stuff that was related to the massive excavator that was on there. Weather on today's drive has been absolutely perfect. 59 degrees right now, but we saw a high of around, I think, 73 on the dashboard. And the winds are pretty light. And now we got this beautiful sunset behind us as we're only 6 minutes away from camp. And we are certainly ready to get out of the truck and go eat something and relax for our last night in Alaska. Marissa picked out a very pretty campsite for us here. There's 2 other vehicles that are going to be our buddies. Welcome to camp. So this spot should be sweet for tonight. Very far off of the main road, so we won't hear any trucks going by or cars going by. Got our 2 other vehicle dwellers, that motorhome behind us, and then a van over here. So yeah, should be a good quiet night. Good morning. Well, last night we did what we usually do, just hang out, fall asleep, watch TV, and this morning we're getting back on the road and we're headed towards that Canadian border. We've only got about a 10-minute or so drive until we hit the border, and we're gonna find out if they're gonna let us in or not. No matter how many times you do border crossing, it's still always a little bit of a unnerving feeling. We've done crossing into Canada probably 4, if not 5 times, and then Mexico 3 times. And yeah, you still always just have some butterflies in your belly when you're crossing an international border. We're especially worried because we have all this halibut and salmon in the freezer in the back that is not really properly labeled, like product of the USA or something, which is one of the criteria when bringing meat over. So we would hate to lose our thousands of dollars worth of fish. That was the port of entry into America from Canada. So now you're in this kind of no man land between the US Customs and Canadian Customs. So we should be there pretty soon, just a couple minutes. Well, it looks like we got a slight wait here in order to get through the border. Maybe 5 or 6 vehicles in front of us. The roads here between the Alaska border and the Canadian Customs is terrible. I had to slow down to 15 miles an hour at points in order to not get tossed around. So some general rules for doing border crossings. Have your passports out and ready. Don't be waiting until the last second to have your paperwork together. If you have a pet, have a health certificate for them in this case, and be prepared with that too. Don't bring drugs across the border. If you're bringing a firearm, you have to declare it. And they want you to shut your engine off, it says up there. So since we have a diesel and it's semi-loud, we'll do that too. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, yourself?
Great, thank you.
Where's such a sunglasses, please? Where's home for you guys?
New Jersey.
What brought you up this way?
We were working in Seward, Alaska all summer.
What did you do for work?
I worked at a brewery.
Okay. Is this your first time working up here?
Yes.
Where do you guys normally reside?
So our home is in New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
but we travel around in this a bunch too.
Okay. And where are you headed to next?
Like in the States or in Canada?
what's the next plan? So
Oh.
basically, are you transiting through? Or
Yeah, we're going through Canada and back to the lower 48.
Do you have employment on the other side?
We're self-employed in addition to our other gigs that we do.
And what type of work is that?
Airbnb, ownership and management.
Okay, so that's nothing in Canada then?
No.
All right. Do you have any pets on board?
We do. We have a cat with us here in a little
Freebies
bag.
are up to date. It's in good health.
Yes.
Do you have any firearms or weapons?
No.
Did you have any with you in the truck or camper in Alaska?
Nope.
So you didn't fly up any or ship any down or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so you wouldn't have ammunition or anything like that on board either?
Correct. None of that.
Anything for personal defense?
No.
You don't have bear spray even?
We have bear spray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so any small pepper sprays or anything?
No.
Any knives, like folding style knives that aren't like Leatherman
No.
multi-tools? Any campfire wood or other plant products?
No.
Any wildlife products like hunting trophies or anything?
No.
Safe travels.
Thank you so much. Didn't even get asked about the halibut.
We didn't get asked about if we had any produce. We didn't ask if we had any marijuana. All they cared about was firearms and game trophies. We didn't have any of that.
Yep. Very easy border crossing overall. And now we are in the Canada. Well, as you could likely tell from the ad in this video, we are no longer in Alaska nor in Canada. We are now in Utah, but after this video, we have 2 more awesome videos coming up from our time in Colorado, where I serviced our diesel heater and I'm showing you guys a full tutorial on how I installed it. And we have a video on our 12-volt fridge install that we got from eTrailer.com. It is a Norcold Polar 8 12-volt DC compressor fridge that was quite a project to install, not so much because of the fridge, but because of Lance. We'll see more about that in a future video, but just want to thank you for being here. Be sure to like this video, subscribe. That helps us out a ton as a small channel, lets YouTube know that you liked what you saw here, and we'll see you on the next one.